right? So we will understand one of the important service of AWS called cloud formation. So what is this cloud formation? What the use of this, right? What the use of this cloud formation? The cloud formation is a infrastructure as a code service. Okay, so right, using this you can manage the infrastructure of AWS. You can provisioning the resources in AWS. Okay, so cloud formation is a infrastructure as a code to service. Okay, so infrastructure as a code service. So using cloud formation you can create your infrastructure in AWS. So what I will do, let me connect to the AWS account. Let me connect to a AWS account. So let me connect to it. So okay, let me sign into it. EC2 instances, right? You know basically how you are creating instances using manual steps. So there are many methods. Okay, whether you can create your infrastructure in AWS using AWS cloud formation, or you can use Terraform. Okay, or you can use the right the Ansible as well. You can use it, but Ansible is a configuration management, and Terraform is a infrastructure as a code tool or a provisioning tool. Okay, provisioning tool. Okay, so the main difference between Ansible versus CloudFormation or Ansible versus Terraform, right? So you cannot manage the state of a component using Ansible. You cannot manage a state. State is nothing but, for example, as a right. So if you created a server with 1 GB RAM in AWS, okay, in AWS, so this is 1 GB RAM, right? So if you want to make this 1 GB, right? If you want to make this 1 GB RAM to 4 GB, you need to stop and stop. You need to stop and start this server. You need to stop and start, right, the server. Okay, you need to stop and start it, right? So you need to stop and start it. So, but how the server state knows by the Ansible? So Ansible don't know that. So where there is no state file saved in location, current location, but Terraform will have that. Okay, right, right. So right, so right, right. So cloud formation. So it's a service of AWS. Okay, but this Terraform can be used in any cloud. Okay, okay, right. So infrastructure, we can call it as a infrastructure as a right code, right? So here we are using some code. What kind of code it is? It is right. It is we'll call this as AML file, right? We will call it as a YAML files in cloud formation. YAML is nothing but yet another markup language, right? But since we have Terraform, as I said, Terraform is supporting for multiple clouds, right? Either it can be AWS, Azure, GCP, right? But why we are going with cloud formation? So as I said, cloud formation will support only AWS. Okay, supports only AWS. So the thing is, right? The thing is, so before this, right, Terraform, right? We have it, like cloud formation. So people are using it because of the support directly from the AWS, right? So it supports AWS, right? So that's why people are right using this. Okay, and slowly most of the companies are moving are moving to the moving to the Terraform. But you have to know that, okay, it's a part of AWS. So AWS Cloud Formation have its own advantages as well. Okay, still most of the companies are using. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so it's have a collection of the right resources we have. We can call it as a templates. Okay, these files, these YAML files are nothing but templates. We'll call it as a templates, cloud formation templates. So in the interview point of view, they will ask you, uh, the components which are there in a cloud formation template. So let me show you. This is the cloud formation. You can click on it. You can click on it. So here, right? If you, for example, if I go to EC2, this is my EC2, right? Console. There are no instances now. There are no instances now. So what I will do, I will use this cloud formation. I will use this cloud formation. I will create an instance. Okay, I will manage the state of it. Okay, so the right, we'll call it as a state, right? So and here we have a term called stack also. What is a stack? Stack is nothing but collection of resources. Okay, you can see what are the items are created in AWS. In AWS. So the stack is nothing but collection of resources in cloud formation. Collection of resources. So we'll call it as a collection of resources. So if you want to create a EC2 instance, as I said, there are many methods. Whether you can use CloudFormation, whether you can use Ansible, whether you can use Terraform, right? So it can be manual approach. If you have 10 servers, if you have 10 different accounts, right, in organizations, right, we will not use this manual approach every time, right? Manual approach when it will be for the troubleshooting, for the testing, for right, for the testing, for the troubleshooting, a lot of things came into the picture. Okay, so anyway, I will use cloud formation. We have to create a stack, the stack where the lot of the collection of resources related to a component will be there. Like if you want to create a EC2 instance, it is also a component. Volume, it can be a component, right? These are, we call it as a resources. The collection of resources is nothing but a, the collection of resources is nothing but a, right, the stack. Okay, so if you want to create a stack, you can click on create stack. You can click on create stack. So here, as I said, the files, the YAML files are nothing but the JSON or YAML files are nothing but JSON or YAML files are nothing but JSON. JSON is nothing but a JavaScript object notation. Yeah, these are easy understanding files. Okay, JavaScript object JSON. Okay, object notation. These are easy understandable files. Okay, so yeah, these templates, right? These templates, right? You have template is ready, and you can use sample templates, and you can create a template in a designer. That means you can, if you have a existing template, you can use it, or if you want to use a sample template provided by AWS, you have a list of sample templates, you can use it, or you can create your own template. Okay, so that means here template is nothing but, right, the configuration, right? You want to you want to create. Okay, if you want to see the sample template, just click on it. What are the sample templates are there? Okay, so right, so you can click on some basic browse sample templates by region. For example, if you want to create if you want to create a EC2 instance with a security group, you can use this sample template. So what this template is having, so this is a collection, a lot of information, right? Right, don't worry about it. So this is a part of AWS S3 bucket, AWS side S3 bucket. This complete code will help you to create a EC2 instance as a, right, as a template. Okay, this is existing template. If you want to use it, just copy the URL, go back to your cloud formation. Okay, just cancel this, just for getting right sample templates thing. You can create a stack now. You have a template ready. Just provide that S3 bucket URL. If someone having that in their S3 bucket, you can provide that S3 bucket URL. Okay, it's a bucket. S3 bucket is nothing but a a place, right, where the people can store the data. So this is AWS side S3 bucket. Okay, we have also AS3 simple storage service. Here, right, we can create our own buckets. Okay, so bucket is nothing but a simple folder only. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. So anyway, we are in cloud formation. This is AWS S3 URL, and this is the URL, right? You can click on next. So based on the data in the file, it will populate. What it is populating, what the condition is. The condition is create EC2 instance with security group, right? Instance with security group. Those are two components getting created. Simple EC2 instance with a security group. We know, we already discussed what is security group. It's a firewall. It's a firewall, right? So let's go back to here. What this file is having, the cloud formation templates will have few key components. In the interview point of view, they will ask you what are the components of a cloud formation template. There are majorly four important components. What are the components? Cloud template format version, the AWS template format version. Okay, this will be one part. This part, this is nothing but when this template is released. Okay, and we have description. So why this template, what is the use of this template? Okay, and then parameter. If you want to create a EC2 instance, what are the parameters you are providing when you are launching? You are selecting the AMI, right? And then you are providing some instance type. You're providing some key pair. You're accessing using SSH if it's the Linux. If it is a Windows, you're using some RDP port, right? So these are all came into the picture, right? These are all came into the picture, right? So what I'm going to do it, what I'm going to do it. So in this file, right? So this is the parameter section. Key name, that means your key pair. So what here we are doing, we are trying to get the list of key pairs. We're trying to get the list of key pairs within the account. Okay, this is one, right? This is one line, one code, right? So which will help you to take, right, to take the list of key pairs. And then that's why you can see here, once I uploaded that, I can see instance type, key pair, key pair. I can see all the list of key pairs in my account, right? So this is the key pair. Select AWS EC2 key pair key name. So you can select from this. And in the next thing is instance type. You are providing randomly list of key pairs, the instance type. Default will be t3.small, right? So if you see here, t3.small is default. Why? Because you provide default and remaining all in the list, right, in the drop down. And after that, SSH location, right, for the 22 port should be opened, right? So this is the SSH location default one. As a string, this is a string, right? If you want to edit, you can edit it. Basically, default one, it is this, okay? And mappings, right? So how the AMI is selected if you want to create a EC2 instance. So you are using some mappings, okay? So this is mapping, the architecture mapping, okay? So based on the region, this is architecture mapping, and right, yeah. And finally, what you are trying to create, you're trying to create a resource. What are the resources? One is EC2 instance, another one is security group. So in the EC2 instances, you have some need properties or parameters. One is instance type, it is referring the above one, the instance type, uh, above one. From this, it is getting the instance type. And the next thing, it is getting the security group. From where it is getting, it is referring the below security group. So it is trying to create a new security group, okay? And it is getting the key pair, and it is getting the image ID by using some mapping. And this is for security group creation, okay? And yeah, in the interview, no one will ask you to write this complete complete the template, but you should know, right? You should read it. It is in YAML format, It is easy understandable format actually. This will have some heading and the value, heading and the value, and these are the outputs. Once the server is created, I want some details. I don't want to go to the instances and I want to see that. What I want to do, I want to get it from the cloud formation stack only. Okay, for example, my stack is my EC2 with SG security group. I want to go T2 dot small and test AB and click on next. Or if I want to go to T3 dot medium, T2 dot medium, right, T2 dot small, right, T2 dot micro, right, T3 dot micro, I can go with that. Okay, whatever I need, I can click on next, right, and I can click on next. No need to change other things. Sub. So what is going to happen, right? What is happening here? So the mapping is not happening because you are right in the region of architecture. The AMI is not part of this. Okay, so let me go to the people, right? This one for the government cloud. So let me go back the templates. Let me go back to cloud formation. Yeah, we are in the free account. Okay, the stacks will not be the resources, the components will not be free for every region. Next. The thing here, here it is referring the instance types, right? So those are right, this AMI IDs. If you see these AMI IDs, which are in the right US Gov West one. So what we need to do, we need to change this. So how we can change this? Let me take this entire file. So let me go to, okay, the notepad. Okay, so here I need to change this. So how I can change? So let me go back here. Okay, I will do one thing. So I will go to instances. I created one key pair. You know how to create. You have to go to key pairs, and if you have existing one, you can use. Otherwise, if you want to create a new, simple, just click on create new key pair. And if you want PEM or if you want PPK, you can select and provide the key pair name. And you can, if you want PEM, you can select it and you can create. And coming to this, why we are getting this error, right? Unable to get mapping, right? So the region US West one, we are currently in US West one, okay? But the code is, but this file is targeting, right? US Gov West, okay? So let me remove this, okay? Go West one, okay? And the AMI ID, I will go with existing one, okay? So for example, if you want to create a Ubuntu or Amazon Linux, take this like this, okay? And update here. If you want to create one more, like you can, or if you want to particularly go for that yes go one, okay, so Here you can see that US West. We don't have that, okay, access to it. So no issues. Let me fix our code only. Okay, so it should be supported. Okay, and let me take one more AMI, like for example Ubuntu. Okay, so this is the method of getting it from AWS S3 bucket. This is in currently AWS S3 bucket, right? You're getting from here, right? So for example, yeah. So they're not managing it in other regions. Okay, yes, yes. Okay. Anyway, so we can get it, right? We can get it from the our side. We can fix it. So I just edited this. Let me save it. Let me save it in desktop. My right, for example, this is ec2 dot yaml. Okay, just save this, and what I will do, I will create a stack again now. Okay, I will click on create stack. So I will use, right, I will use upload the stay, right, upload from a file, right, just click on it. I can choose that. It is under my desktop. This is my ec2 yaml. Click on next. It's processing, right. It is getting the details from this my ec2 with security group. I will go with the existing key pair t3 dot small. Let me go next. Next. Submit. So the creation is in progress. What the change I made, I just edited, right, uh, and I'm in US East when it should be created. This one. Let me go to EC2. The instances is getting created. T0 small it is getting created, right? So right, this is the server, right? If you are in ES East one, it will create the same. Okay, so let me take this file completely. Let me upload it in my GitHub. Okay, so let me go to Raju. Let me go to repositories. New, cloud formation, right? So what I said initially. So okay, can we use this one? File container flow and add a file. Okay, upload a file. Sorry, upload a file. Desktop upload should be uploaded. Okay. Right, we have uploaded one file. You can use this for the practice. So this is for ec2 instance creation. Okay, this is ec2 instance creation. As I said, it can be managed, right? If you see, this is the stack which we created, and this is the stack information. It is complete, right? And this is the events which are happening, right? You can see the instance is creating is complete, and these are the resources which are created. Instance security. If you created 10 items, 10 components from this cloud formation stack, you don't need to delete one by one. Okay, you can simply delete this stack. All the components will be deleted. These are the outputs. What I said, output value, you can see here. What output value? Instance ID. You can see here instance ID, right? And the availability zone, under which availability zone it is created, you're getting it from the get attribute value. This is public DNS, the DNS name of the server, and the public IP, and you can see the public IP as well. Okay, so this is how you will create a EC2 instance using, right, using a cloud formation stack. But if you want to manage the state, you can use this stack only. If you want to update the stack, click on update. use the same current template, click on next. Right now it is T3 dot small. If you want to change it to T3 dot medium, you can select and you can click on next and you can update it. So it knows that, right? The cloud formation stack knows that the current state, and it will go and update from T3 dot small to T3 dot medium. It is stopping. If you want to change the RAM size, you need to stop the server. You need to change that. You need to change that. Okay. Right, you can see it is getting stopped. Right, it is running now. Right, it is changed to T3 dot medium. T3 dot medium. Okay. So this is how you will work on it. Right, this is how you will work on it. Right. So for example, I want to create a database in AWS. Okay. So basically, right, if you want to create a database, okay, so there is a service in AWS called RDS. RDS. What this RDS is? The RDS is nothing but relational database service. Database service. So using this RDS, okay, you can create your database engines. You can manage your databases. Okay, for example, it can be Aurora database, MySQL database. Earlier days, what they are doing, we are creating a server, we are purchasing MySQL, we are purchasing MariaDB, we are purchasing MySQL, right, Postgres, and people are installing in a server, right? And for example, 2023 version, 2024 version, right? And what they are doing, they are giving access to a customer. I mean, the database team, right? So, but this AWS, but this AWS, but this AWS, right, RDS service, what it will do, right? Database team will giving access to a database team. We are connecting, and we are creating a server, and we are giving access to a database team. If it is a Oracle database, so you have create. Okay, so yeah, let me, for example, if you want to create a server, you can simply delete the stack, the server getting deleted. So what is this RDS is, right? Relational database team, the relation database service. So you can see the RDS here, right? It can be managed. You no need to purchase. It's a software as a service. You can call this RDS is a software as a service. You're getting a software as a service. So you can get your software. Okay, you can get your software. Okay, RDS. So for example, if you want to create your database, click on create database. Okay, you can see DB as an instance. That means you are getting an instance. Within that, if you want a particular database, you can get it. If you want to create a database, just click on create database. Okay, there are two methods of creation. So as a DevOps engineer, you no need to, right, you no need to know about a database teamwork, but your work will be, you need to collaborate with them. You need to collaborate with DevOps developers, you need to collaborate with testers, you need to collaborate with database team. You have to just give the server with the required database to the database team. Okay, so that means you no need to write, you no need to write, right, you no need to completely know the right, creation of managing of database. Okay, so for example, this is one of the page I will share with you, right? So here you will create one database. Okay, this is part of RDS. So you will get one endpoint. Okay, this endpoint URL and the username and passwords you will share with the database team. Okay, but you should know the process how to create a database. You go here, there are two methods of standard create and easy create. We'll go with every time standard create. Okay, so right, whatever it is comfortable. Okay, But these are not free, guys. Don't create it. Just understand the process. For example, easy create. What is this easy create? We have some easy options. So these are the engines which are free, by AWS RDS. If you want Aurora software, you can use it. If you want Postgres, you can use it. If you want MySQL, you can use it. These are softwares as a service. Okay, Oracle, you can use it. Postgres, you can use it. MariaDB, you can use it, right? Microsoft's SQL server, you can use this. Okay, you can use this, right? So, right, these are different uh, engines. We'll call it as engines. But what about the standard create? The standard create will have one more edition, that is engine version, right? You can see this is the production, right? This is the engine version. So Aurora MySQL. So this is 3.04.1 compatible with MySQL, right? The production, right? So this is dev slash test. This is dev slash test. This is production high availability. This is dev slash test. Okay. So this is DB cluster identifier. This is the right cluster name database -1. This is right. This is the username. This is the username, and this is right master username, and this is auto generated password. This is auto generated password. Okay, you can use, right. So can you do one thing? Can you just note down the right engines? Okay, here, yeah, there are engines, for example, within the, for example, if you have selected MySQL, within the MySQL, if you want a particular engine, you can select it. We can select it. Whatever the engine you want, you can simply version. You can simply select it. Whatever the engine you need, you want, right? So this is the part of standard create. The easy create will not have full options. Okay, so you can go whatever the version you need. And here we have, if you have production environment for highly available, if one is down, another one get automatically created engine, the database instance. And if you want to go for a dev and test, you can go with this. And if you want to go for a free trial, but it's not completely free, guys, I would say don't, right? I would say no need to, right? No need to, right? Create it. Okay. So just understand the process. This is the user, right? That in the database name, like this. Okay. They created some SQL RDS, and after that the username, and if you want to provide a password, you can provide a password, but you should share this, right, to the database. This is the instance type, whether 1 GB RAM or 2 GB RAM, and this is ssd type. This is ssd type, that means the volume, the 20 GB, 30 GB, 50 GB, based on the requirement you can select it. And remainings are not required, and you can, this is the price. Okay, price, but don't create it. Okay, just you have to, in the organization, yes, the creation will be like this. And the people can connect this with the endpoint. Once the database is created, there will be endpoint with, right, we'll share with them. So anyway, but this is manual process, but organization will not follow this. Okay, if you have more number of database instances, if you want to create it, if you can use this cloud formation stack only. And you have, for example, you're in US West one, and if you want to create a RDS, you can have a template, single EC2 web server with RDS database instance. Here, this code can be helpful. Okay, can be helpful to create a database instance with the username, password, and storage class, right? All these. Here we are trying to create a web server, right, and a RDS. Okay, yeah, these are not free. Okay, no need to create of it. Just see the process. Okay, so as I said, we'll share the endpoint URLs to the customer. So take your time, just note down the components and the engine types, okay, of RDS and the cloud first. So just take a screenshot if you need. Just note.